So finally, we have the OneUI 8 port for our Xiaomi Pad 6. The best part about this ROM is that it is ported directly from the Galaxy Tab S9 5G. That means you're getting a full-fledged Samsung tablet experience. As we all know, right after Apple iPads, Samsung provides the absolute best tablet UI. In this video, I am going to show you exactly how you can install this OneUI 8 mode on your Xiaomi Pad 6. I will also share my first impressions, explore the OS features, and do a complete performance test. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. Before we start the installation, let me clear up a few important points. First, make sure your bootloader is already unlocked. Second, ensure your PC and tablet are prepared for the installation. If you are unsure about this setup, you can watch my previous video where I explain how to connect the Pad 6 to a PC and perform the initial OS installation after unlocking the bootloader. Third, I don't have the Xiaomi 2nd Gen stylus, so I won't be able to show you how it performs on this ROM. And lastly, I don't have a Type-C to HDMI cable to test if an external display with Samsung DeX is working. With that cleared up, let's move to the installation part. First, open Telegram and search for the Xiaomi Pad 6 channel. Click on the top channel where you will find all the latest ROMs pinned for the Pad 6. Scroll a little bit and you will find the OneUI 8 port for Pippa, which is the code name for our Pad 6. You will see two download options, but only the media file link is working right now. Click on it and download the file. I have already downloaded it, so I will just cancel it here. Now, the developers has mentioned a few bugs like Bluetooth audio and face unlock not working. After testing it myself, I can confirm both are indeed broken. Also, this ROM is pre-rooted. You only need to sideload kernel SUDEX Unix. If you can't find this specific KSU version, I will provide the link on my Telegram channel. Check the description. Finally, you will need a specific module file. If you want to unlock the full potential and use Galaxy AI features, you have to flash this module in KSU and log in with your Samsung ID. Once you have downloaded all the files, close Telegram and open your file manager. Go to your downloads folder, right-click on the OneUI 8 file and choose Extract. Extract this directly into your C drive, specifically inside the Platform Tools folder. After extracting, go to this PC, open the C drive and open the Platform Tools folder. Here you will find a file named /windows.bat. Next, grab your Pad 6 and restart it into the bootloader. If your current OS doesn't have an advanced restart option, just restart the pad and hold the volume down button during the boot process. This will boot the device into fast boot mode. Connect your Pad 6 to the PC using a USB cable. Back on your PC. Right-click on the flash windows.bat file and choose Run as Administrator. A command prompt will open and ask to erase data. Just type Y and hit Enter. From here, the entire process is automatic. After the installation is complete, the pad will automatically reboot. Since it is the first boot, it will take a little while. As you can see, the Samsung Galaxy logo is showing and the setup screen appears. Just ignore the error message that pops up it shows because this isn't an actual Samsung tablet. Now, let me quickly set this up and prepare for the review. Okay, on the first boot, you need to sideload the kernel SU app that you downloaded from my Telegram. Open kernel SU, go to the modules tab, click on install and choose the spoofing file. I am skipping this step right now because I have already set it up. Next, just log in with your Samsung account and everything will work perfectly. If you don't have one, just create a new account and you will be able to use almost all Samsung features. My first experience with the OS is that it's pretty smooth. In the display settings, you have two refresh rate options. The first is standard for 60 Hz and the second is adaptive, which smoothly switches up to 120 Hz while you are using the tablet and drops to 60 Hz on standby. The downside is that 144 Hz is not available and you cannot force the display to a specific refresh rate. In the gallery, you get some cool AI features like AI image filling and AI drawing. Let me quickly draw a rabbit. Please don't judge my drawing skills. The results are actually pretty nice, and if you're not satisfied, you can just generate another one. You can also edit videos right here. Let me record a quick clip to edit. It's basic editing, but here is a fun part. We have a custom sticker named Xiaomi Pad 6. You can add another clip and apply filters from the store. However, one major feature is missing. You cannot long press to select a subject and drag it somewhere else. I've seen users enjoy this feature on original Samsung tabs, but unfortunately it is not working in our ROM. Now let's talk about the control center. If you pull down from the top right, the control center appears. But if you pull down from anywhere else, you see your notifications. It strictly depends on where you pull down from. If you want to customize your control center, just click on the pencil icon where you can add new icons or change their order. If you prefer the old Samsung style control center instead, pull down from the top right, click on panel settings and turn off the separated layout. Now no matter where we pull from, notifications and controls will appear at the same time. Let's move on to lock screen customizations. Just hold down on the lock screen for a second and enter your password. You can resize the clock, change the animations, and move widget locations like placing them below or to the left of the clock. Because the screen is so big, you can add even more widgets. You can change wallpapers or generate them using Galaxy AI. There is also a dynamic wallpapers option, which automatically changes your wallpaper to a new one from your selected category every time you wake the screen. Let me download the cat category, and yes, it works perfectly fine. You can also match your color palette. If the wallpaper isn't syncing properly with your UI, you can level up your customizations even more using the Good Lock app. I'm just going to show you the final results because showing every single step would make this video too long. Good Lock doesn't just change the look, it enhances your entire tablet experience. For example, I customized my back gesture. If I do a long swipe, it opens a quick panel where I can adjust the volume, change brightness, take a screenshot, and more. A swipe up brings up a volume panel complete with an RGB volume effect. A swipe down opens a quick screen timer, which is super handy for me. You can customize the left and right sides completely. The limits are honestly endless. I also created an RGB keyboard effect using Good Lock and a custom theme to achieve a nice glass effect. Since this is a tablet OS, most apps run in full screen, though some apps like Bing struggle sometimes. But don't worry, there is a solution for that in this OS, which I will explain later. Let's talk about multitasking. If you click on the top handle and choose split, it will ask you to select a second app. Once the split screen appears, you can easily adjust the size. If you swipe from the edge, you can quickly switch apps, which is amazing if you're taking notes. Speaking of notes, you can drag and drop images directly from the browser into your notes. Some apps fully support this feature, making it incredibly useful for research. In split screen, you can use a maximum of 3 apps at the same time, plus one floating window. You can change the layout, and the OS will even save this layout for the next time you work. Now for the star of the show, Samsung DeX. Just pull down the control center and enable Samsung DeX. Now you can open apps in windowed mode and split those windows easily. Apps like Bing, which didn't support full screen earlier, now open perfectly in landscape mode if you click to maximize the open in full screen without any errors. This feature completely transforms your tablet using experience. A great detail is that your recent tabs in Dex mode and normal mode are kept separate. So if you switch back to tablet mode, your Dex apps remain right where you left them. In Dex mode, you can have a maximum of 5 tabs open at the same time. For the multimedia experience, you get Widevine L1 certification, meaning you can enjoy your favorite OTT series in 1080p. On YouTube, you can push the limits to the absolute max, as you can see. I am playing a 4K HDR video without any lag. The audio experience is a little bit low. Not terrible, but since we don't have a Dolby Atmos app, we can tweak it to achieve that peak quality we get on other AOSP ROMs. Feels like the audio output is loft to 80%. But the good news is that the quad speakers are working fine. I also tested Type-C earphones and Bluetooth speakers, and unfortunately neither of them are working. We will need to take some time to resolve these errors using some modules. If you guys ask for it, I will try to make another video to fix these bugs. On a personal note, I am making a custom ROM video for the Pad 6 after 3 long months. These types of videos take a huge amount of time to make, from installation and testing to explaining features and doing research. So if you want more videos on the Pad 6, try to hype this video up and comment down below on which ROM you want me to test next. Keep supporting. Let's check out more AI features in the settings. You get Galaxy AI options like Writing Assist, Note Assist, Transcript Assist, and Browsing Assist. Just keep in mind that these features only work with official Samsung apps, so you will need to install those first. Also, as you can see, Dolby Atmos was mentioned in the sound quality settings, but after trying it out, it doesn't really improve the audio much. For the battery, I am not seeing any unusually high consumption. It also supports maximum charging protection, but honestly, it is a hit or miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And remember, under screen lock, you don't have face unlock support. Trying to set it up just prompts you to restart the tablet. For gaming, we have the gaming booster, and you can switch to performance mode for the best experience. Alright, let's test some games. First up is Call of Duty Mobile. In the graphics settings, you can play multiplayer low graphics with ultra frame rate, meaning 90 FPS. Otherwise, you can play on max settings, which gives you 60 FPS. Battle Royale is the exact same situation. In my testing, Battle Royale holds a constant 85 to 90 FPS, and multiplayer performs the same.
कमरे में घुसता जैसे हाथी टेबल बैठा तो फिर गांधी करते मोटा चार शो का होते दंगे चलती लाठी हमने हार से सीखा और सीखों से जीत बना दी सोना था हराम तभी तो किस्मत हो रही चांदी चांदी है मैं एक दिन रहता दिल्ली दूजे दिन में बैठा बाली पंगा चीते से तो समझो रास्ता बिल्ली काटे काली है कैन सी थ्रू ऑल ऑफ देम ये रैपर सबके सब हैं जाली जब जब पैरी मांगे पैर तब तब पैरी मांगे पानी you know.
Next, let's test BGMI. In smooth graphics, it supports the ultra extreme setting, which gives you 120 FPS. In balanced HD and HDR, it supports the extreme setting for a stable 60 FPS. Ultra HDR is also supported at Ultra for an entry-level 60 FPS. I am going to play on Smooth and Ultra Extreme. In normal locations, the frame rate fluctuates between 120 to 108 FPS, but during intense fights, it drops down to around 108 to 94 FPS. Lastly, let's move to Free Fire. You can push the settings to the absolute max here as well, and it delivers a constant 60 FPS. So yeah, that's it for today's video. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned and enjoy your flagship tablet OS experience.